A big, big thank you to Economic Times for having me. It's such an honor. A big thank you to all of you for being here. And most importantly, Sadhguruji, thank you so much. This is an absolute honor for me. I can't wait to learn from you, seek your guidance, and I look forward to having a great session.
Okay, if I take a minute and chant?
Absolutely.
Jananam sukadham maranam karunam milanam maduram smaranam karunam kalavashadiha Sakalam karunam samayadipate akilam karunam. Namaskaram, namaskaram all of you. I said namaskaram. I thought they're not on talking terms, but
No, I think we all love you and we really look up to you. And this video is so inspiring, Guruji, really. I think you're a huge inspiration and we all have so much to learn. So can I start with my first question? I think all of us here are relatively ambitious people. I'm surely quite ambitious. And in the midst of all of that, I tend to forget about my own needs. I put myself on the back burner, which I'm learning isn't the best thing for me to do. So what would your advice and guidance be? How does one have a successful professional life while also maintaining a healthy personal life and, taking care of our own wellness?
Well, what we call as ambition is a very constipated expression of fundamental human longing. When I say fundamental human longing, doesn't matter who you are, what you are, you want to be something more than what you are right now. Hello? Hello? Yes or no? If you know money, you're thinking more money. If you know wealth, you're thinking more wealth. If you know power, you're thinking more power. If you know knowledge, you're thinking more knowledge. If you know pleasure, you're thinking more pleasure. Doesn't matter what, currency may be different from person to person, but everybody is longing to be something more. So whatever that something more that you're longing for right now, suppose we fulfill that for you right now, are you fulfilled for life? Hello? No. You want something more, okay, that also will do it. Are you fulfilled? No. That also we will fulfill the next one. Are you fulfilled? No. So essentially, you're longing to expand in a limitless way. If you want to become limitless, trying to do it through physical means is a foolish thing to do. Hello? Because the fundamental of physical existence is a defined boundary. We call this a physical body because it has a defined boundary. If I take away all the boundaries of this, it is no more physical, isn't it? So you're longing for something which is boundless through boundaries. Well, life is going to be a frustrating course. It can't be any other way, I'm saying it's fundamentally flawed. So you have a longing to become everything. But your ambition is for something, that's why I'm saying it's constipated. You know constipation means what? It happens, but it happens little by little. Hello? So ambition is a constipated expression of what is a fundamental human longing to expand. So your longing to expand, if you pay attention to it, you will see it is not looking for more, it's looking for all. Hello? When you're looking for all, you can't call that an ambition because you cannot have all in terms of physical having, all right? But you can make everything yours, nobody to stop you. Do you know this? I have made all of you mine, not without your permission. Is that okay? Whether you give me permission or not, I don't care. I've anyway made you mine. Can you stop me? Hello? Can you stop me? No, you think if somebody has to be yours, you have to marry them or you have to beget them or something else must happen. You need a legal paper that they belong to you. No, this planet can be yours, isn't it? Hello? This universe can be yours. It's just a question of, will you allow your consciousness to expand or will you keep it constipated? So first of all, that is ambition. In that, how to balance my personal life and my ambition. See, what you want to do, if it's not your life, why the hell are you doing it? People are always asking how to get work-life balance. I'm saying if what you're doing, your work, if it's not your life, please don't do it. Because if you're reasonably successful in your life, you spend more time with the people with whom you work than your so-called family, yes or no?
Absolutely.
Day in and day out, you're with them. Maybe only weekends you're seeing family faces. Depends what kind of work you're doing, you know. But if you're reasonably successful in this world, most of the time you are with people that you work with, isn't it? And if that's not your life, I'm sure it's miserable. It's like, when I first went to United States some 23, 24 years ago, they took me to this restaurant and it said TGIF, whatever. What is it, I asked. Thank God it's Friday. So then I looked into this, where does this come from? Then all the research says, studies show that 70% of the Americans hate the work that they're doing. Hate, not dislike, they hate it. If you are hating what you do for 5 days of the week, you think 2 days will be fantastic? No, it only overdoses. That's all that's happening. Because you're doing something that you hate. I'm saying, life is such a limited amount of time. In this, where did you get the time to do something that you hate? Why the hell are you doing something that you hate when life is such a brief happening? When I say life is such a brief happening, before you were born, Ananya, how long were you dead?
Wow. I don't know, Guruji.
You don't know, endless amount of time probably. And I'll wish you another 100 years.
Thank you.
Because when it comes to death, nobody is negotiating death, we're only negotiating time. Hello? Yes or no? We are not negotiating whether we should die or not. We are negotiating whether it's today or 100 years later, that's all. So I'll give you another 100 years, okay? But after that when you die, how long will you be dead?
Will I be reborn or…
Don't go into all that.
Okay.
How long will you be dead? Those people who died, how long are they dead? They're just dead forever, all right?
Forever. I wouldn't know.
Yes. So, you are dead for a very long time before you are born and after you die. It's just a brief amount of time that you're here. In this, why the hell are you doing something that you hate? You must be doing something that you love, something that you embrace with the greatest amount of love and affection. Whether it is work or industry or people or whatever nonsense you want to embrace, it's up to you. Hello?
So Guruji, coming to this, I personally have reached a stage where I love most of what I do and I feel very grateful to be in this place. However, I still wonder what's right. So if I can give you an example, let's say my mother's here, so I'm just going to use her as an example. Let's say I have a really important board meeting that I'm chairing tomorrow and it also happens to be my mom's birthday. Now, the decisions that I make for the company obviously affect so many other people who are working in the company. But it's also my mom's birthday tomorrow and I want to be there for her. Let's say I can only do one.
You can take her to the boardroom and celebrate along with them.
I would love to do. I'm going to do that. That would be great. But what I'm trying to get at is when things like that come up, what is the right thing to do? Or is there nothing right and wrong and it just depends from situation to situation? This is something that I really struggle with. I think this is what I meant by personal and professional.
See, when we say personal life, whether it's our parents or our children or whatever, it is not the volume of time that we spend with them. It's about how we spend that time with them. So I've raised my daughter with my little finger of involvement only. But she thinks I've been a fantastic parent to her, all right? That's her experience and that's all that matters. I know I only let my little finger involve myself with her because rest of it was all involved with my work. But with little finger you can do a lot. It is the quality of what you do, it's not about how much you do.
Wow.
We have to raise that quality.
Wow. Yeah, that's really good. I think it's becoming quite commonplace, especially in Gen Z, to do more than just…
Hey, what do you mean, Gen Z? You're the last generation?
Sorry, Guruji, it's just a word that I've gotten off the
Because
internet,
I see
and I use it…
it's marked Z and all the Russian tanks and armored vehicles. Or are you part of the invasion?
I think it's anyone born… I know my sister's part of the Gen Z and she's
No,
19.
I know what that means, but what I'm saying is, when we say A of life, we mean beginning of life. When we say Z of life, we mean end of life. When you say I'm Gen Z, it's not sounding good to me.
That's actually… if you think about it like that, it's actually quite unfortunate. Hopefully they're not the last generation. So, I've personally noticed that we tend to do more than just one thing. And given that I'm trying to balance a career in both business and music, is this something that you think is sustainable, or should we as individuals be focusing and giving our all to just one field?
See, whether I can ride 2 horses at a time or 1 horse at a time is a question of my competence, isn't it? If I can effectively do it, you can ride 10, what's the problem? But if you're going to fall between the horses, better ride 1. That's something you must make a decision. It's not about right and wrong. It's a question of you invest your life and time and energy into something, how effective and impactful will you be? Because when we do activity, whatever the nature of our activity, I'm asking you a simple question. Suppose you make music, do you want to make music that nobody wants to listen to?
I would love to ideally make music for myself.
No, don't get all so complicated. I'm asking you a simple question. If you make music, do you want to make music nobody, including yourself, want to listen to it?
No.
You want people to listen to it. When they listen to your music, if they sit here with tears in their eyes, that's a day, your music, huh? Isn't it? Do you want to write a book that nobody wants to read?
No.
Do you want to make a movie nobody wants to see?
No.
Do you want to cook something nobody wants to eat?
No.
So essentially you must understand human activity is relevant only in terms of the impact that it causes. So if you can be impactful doing 10 things, great. If you cannot be, choose what's your competence, right?
Thank you, Guruji. That personally really helped me. I hope this was relevant for some of you as well.
There are not many musicians out here, it's okay.
So, given there's this elephant in the room, and many…
Who is that guy? You talking to me?
Not at all, Guruji, no. Given all the biking and everything, I think you're a huge inspiration for all our fitness levels. Given the corporate conditions, many people are being asked to leave their workplace. And this is, as a young business person…
Leave means fired.
Yes, laid off. Yes, due to not due to incompetence, but due to the fact that costs need to be cut to meet the needs of the company's profit and loss.
Changing situations.
Absolutely. Now, in a situation like this, of course, as a young business person, it really hurts to see that you're affecting the livelihoods of.
Please fire some more people, I'm looking for attrition. I can give a lot of work, no payment, but a lot of work. We are a volunteer organization, we're always looking for people who are willing to work for nothing.
I think everyone seems very happy, and that's the end goal, so it's lovely. But how do we… It's a battle between the heart and the mind. And it's a moral… For me personally, it's a moral issue. So how do we reduce this conflict, which is good for all versus good for majority?
See, there are many changing situations, always there are. You said, we got into a different tangent on that. You said, right now this generation is facing so many things. I'm telling you, you are facing the least number of challenges, if you ask me. Because never before humanity had this level of comfort, convenience, technological empowerment. Never before in the history of humanity were human beings ever this comfortable and this much convenience. So you should never complain, this generation, what shall I call you? Yes? That means if you use that, only 26 alphabets are there. Let's call you whatever, 100x. All right? Because numbers are limitless. If you go by alphabet, somewhere it has to end. So, never before these kind of comforts and conveniences ever been there for human beings. Never before food and survival has been this well organized. Unfortunately, still there are many people in the world, there are famines in the world, there are droughts in the world, unfortunately it's there. That is not because of lack of resource, not because of lack of food. In 2012, I think, in 2012, the study shows that in that year, we were producing food, enough food for 18 billion people on the planet. But we were only 7-something at that time. But we had food for 18 billion people, still 30% of the population is hungry, they have not eaten properly. So this is not because of resource, this is because there is no care and concern in our hearts. We have not felt for other human beings. Now I'm glad at least you're feeling something, I'm glad about that it hurts you to know that somebody is going to be troubled in their life. It's very good. Your humanity is alive, please keep it that way. If you just think, there is somebody who wrote a book, you're fired. You don't know who. You don't know. So, it's not fun to throw somebody out. If we have to relieve somebody, we'll have to do it because there's a picture of a larger well-being. But you should not enjoy those things. That shows you're lacking humanity. Hello? Suppose I have to put you into some little bit of trouble, at least I must have some trepidation that unfortunately I have to do this. I enjoy it. This is sickness. Yes or no? Sometimes we are forced to do certain things. Because world is not all properly balanced like this, it's never been and never will be. Many times we are at advantage, somebody is at disadvantage. At least you must have some feeling, even though you can't fix it. Many times you can't fix it, at least your heart should beat a little bit. If that stops, you've forsaken your humanity, please don't do that. It's all right, you fire 100 people today and you go suffer tonight, please do that, it's good. It's good for you because deepening your sense of humanity will come a long way in your life, in many ways. But there are ways to settle this. For example, my example may not go well with your kind of business, but anyway, I'm telling you. For example, when pandemic came, all our activity came to standstill because all our activity is mass, people gathering. So we couldn't do that for over 2.5 years. So, largely we are a volunteer-run organization, but other kinds of, labor and there are other things which are hired labor, and also there are accountants and this and that which are… where certain talent is needed, we have many hired people. So, the only way was to relieve them because the foundation was sitting there without any revenue. So first thing I did was, I curtailed the food of all our people, including myself. I said, let's eat far more simple than what… we eat only 2 meals a day. In that I simplified. Because at that time nobody knew how long it'll last. There were predictions, it will last for 3 years, 5 years, like this. So if it happens for 5 years, where will you go begging for food? Because I have over 5,000 people living with me, this is my family, close family, This is our nuclear family, 5,000 So, these 5,000 people have to be fed, it doesn't matter what happens to the foundation. So first thing is we simplified the food. And next thing is we told everybody, please, we will have to relieve at least 30% of the staff. We don't want to do that. Instead of that, everybody take 30% cut in your salary. We will make it up when things pick up. Everybody willingly took that cut. So we never fired anybody, we never relieved even a single person, but everybody went down to… their salaries were cut by 30%. I'm saying there are ways to negotiate situations rather than simply blatantly doing things. That will happen anyway. If it hurts you a little bit, you look for a solution. Not always the same solution, there may be different solutions.
It's a great insight for all of us here, to find some sort of middle ground so that, I think really… Sadhguruji, you spoke about suffering, and economic times, I'm going to go a little off topic, I hope that's okay. But, when we… it could be anything, right? It could be pain, it could be grief. Of course, it's very important to feel it, but how much do we feel, and then at what point do we distract our mind?
Why do you say it's very important to feel it?
This is the little learning that I have. I feel like the only way out is through. But I may be totally wrong.
I thought you heard in the video, I said, the only way out is in.
I know, I heard that actually, and I was going to ask you about that as well. But how much of our pain should we be feeling? How much of it should we be distracted? Occupational therapy is something that we do. There are things like social media and all of that, our work. What's the right balance there? How does one go about doing that? You don't want to self-loathe in an emotion and, feel… so that's something that I struggle with sometimes.
You're not talking about physical pain.
No, I'm talking about emotional pain.
Yes, I get you. Right now, my right knee is in a little bit of physical pain, little meniscus, but my left knee is joyful, okay? So that keeps me joyful. Now, I want you to understand this. Pain or pleasure, where did you experience it?
Where? My heart area, I think.
No, don't…
Like where?
Outside or inside?
Oh, inside.
Inside. Joy or misery, where did you experience it?
Inside.
Inside. Agony or ecstasy, where did you experience it?
Inside.
Inside. Light or darkness, where are you experiencing it?
Inside also.
Inside only. So every human experience is happening only within you. What happens within you must happen your way, isn't it? I may not happen your way, these people may not happen your way, but you must happen your way, isn't it? What happens within you must happen your way. World will never happen 100% your way. Anybody? Your world is happening 100% your way? No, not your husband, not your wife, not your children. So giving up on all of them, you got yourself a dog, but he does his own thing. Even they do their own thing these days. So nothing ever happens 100% your way when it comes to the world. If 51% is happening your way, you have the controlling stake, okay? That's good enough. 51%, good. You try 100%, nobody will be around you, they'll be gone. Yes or no? If somebody around you tries to make it their way 100%, will you be there? You're gone, it doesn't matter who they are. So, you must understand, nobody and no situation ever happens 100% your way. Little bit my way, little bit your way, little bit somebody else's way. It's good, because if everything happened your way, where do I go? I'm glad it's not happening your way. It's happening little bit your way, little bit my way, little bit somebody else's way. But what happens within me must happen my way, isn't it? Hello?
Absolutely.
So if this happened your way, would you keep yourself blissful or miserable? Or would you have managed some space for grief, pain, this, that nonsense?
No, I would choose, I don't know about all of you, but bliss, right? I think.
Choose blissfulness or misery. Please choose, I'm going to bless you.
Blissfulness, I think we all agree.
So if you had a choice, that's what you would do. How did you lose this choice? You lost this choice because you have no distinction between what is you and what is around you.
Wow, okay.
You lost the distinction. If you know this is me, here you do what you want. Here you keep this blissful. Outside, sometimes happens our way, sometimes doesn't happen our way, some things go the way we want, some things go right against us, all kinds of things. The more your spread of activity, more things won't happen your way. So if you want 90% of your life at least happening your way, you must just live in your bedroom. There also cockroaches won't listen to you, mosquitoes won't listen to you, they do their own thing, all right? I'm saying the moment you think, world should happen my way, otherwise I can't be there, you will just limit the scope of your life, that's all that'll happen. If you understand this will never happen your way 100%, but you can push it in the direction that you want to whatever extent you can, but this one must happen my way. So you already chosen its blissfulness. Make this blissful, just get into the world and see. Some things work, some things don't work, everything is fine with you because you're blissful. Now, your experience of life is determined by somebody else and something else. Now you're a slave. Now you're terrified of everything. Now, knowingly or unknowingly, you make yourself into a very constipated life because the fear of suffering. If you're joyful by your own nature, if you're blissful by your own nature, you have no fear of suffering. Only when you have no fear of suffering, you will walk full stride. Otherwise, you're just half a step all your life. Don't do that to yourself.
And how do we overcome fear of suffering?
You don't have to overcome fear of suffering. Suffering is caused by you. See, I can take a pin and put it… I won't, I'm just saying. I can take a pin and put it in your body right now. I can poke you. You can cry or you can laugh, the choice is still there, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Somebody whom you love very much, if they cause pain to you, don't you laugh? Hello? Hello? Your child beat you up in the face, not intentionally, but like that. Didn't you laugh? How nicely he smashed you up he peed on you. Didn't you laugh? Because it's not about what they're doing, it's about how you're responding. Your life or your experience of life is determined by either you're responding to life or you're compulsively reacting to life. This is the difference between being conscious and unconscious. If you're a conscious response, this one will happen the way you want. If you're a compulsive reaction, this one will happen the way they want.
Thank you, Guruji.
I didn't point at anybody, I pointed there, okay?
I think many of us, our companies have a larger vision of achieving something, of creating impact, more than just financially or maybe even financially. And then there are individuals which make up the team. What's the best way to align everyone to that larger vision?
I must tell you, this happened somewhere around Delhi, not in Delhi, close to Delhi. Almost 12, 15 years ago, I'm doing a event for one of the, top mega multinational companies. I don't want to name them. So one of the top companies, top 25 of their management are there. And I have 9 volunteers with me. Our volunteers are always on their toes. Nobody needs to tell them what to do, what not to do, they're simply on. So these people see on the second day, they ask, Sadhguru, where do you get such people? Because they're looking for attrition. Then I say, you don't get them, you got to make them. How do we make them? I said, you must make them fall in love with you. How do we do that? I said, first you must fall in love with them. Oh, they don't pay us for that. So when you're looking at life if you're looking at life as a transaction, you will not be a life, you will be a marketplace. A marketplace is always dependent on profit and loss. Life is not like that. Life is a progression of experiences, all right? But if you made your life into a transaction, then the question is not about how much you have, what you got, where you went, no. Just before this Save Soil movement, I was campaigning in United States for support. At that time, around me, there is one young man. He's behaving like his tail is on fire. I say, hey, what are you up to? Sadhguru, I want to make $1 billion, I want to make $1 billion. I said, that's all. You come tomorrow morning, I'll give you $1 billion. Really? I said, yes, you come tomorrow, I'll give you $1 billion. He had 8 friends with him who were sitting quietly. I said, see these 8 guys, I'm going to give all of them $10 billion tomorrow morning. Sadhguru, why they're getting 10, I will get… Arey, you wanted only 1 just now. Now $1 billion is valuable only if others don't have it. If everybody has it, it's not enough. So essentially, you enjoy what other people don't have. This is not joy, this is sickness. Hello? You enjoy what others don't have. Is it joy or sickness? It's sickness. If you give up this sickness, you will do the best that you can do in your life. Am I the best? There is no such thing, all right? There is no such thing as the best. The best that you can do in this life, if the times in which you live allows that, that's a great benediction. Because lot of things that we are doing are a consequence of the times in which we exist. Yes or no? Yes. If you were here 500 years ago, would you be talking all this corporate stuff? No, definitely not. So it is the times in which we exist which has allowed us to do certain things. Let's do our best. That is, whatever potential you have should find expression. If you're doing something significant, where do you have the time to see whether this guy has it or not? If you see what you're doing is very significant, you don't have time to see who's got what, who doesn't have what, and whether they have it or don't have it doesn't make a difference because what you're doing is significant enough. So if you understand what is significant enough, every other barrier will be crossed. We are a volunteer organization. Can I say something? Volunteers, I take permission. Volunteer organization means nobody is trained for the job, okay? Everybody is enthusiastic, everybody wants to do everything, but they're not trained for the job. And you can never fire them for inefficiency because they're volunteers, you didn't hire them, all right? So, this is a different kind of management. If you want to go crazy, come and manage Isha Foundation, like that. But all our events, everything, they work like clockwork. Before Corona, now it's come down a little bit, we'll pick it up now, it's gone into various other areas. Otherwise, on an average, over 260 to 270 events were happening on any given day. Not a single event has been abandoned ever in the last 30 years. So that must be good management, all right? So, our events generally happen, I'm telling you not to boast about ourselves, but to congratulate all these untrained people, untrained, unpaid people because our events happen in clockwork. I have been to literally everywhere in the world, the biggest events, economic forums, this, that. Nowhere will events happen with the efficiency that it happens in Isha Foundation, I'm saying this. I'm saying this as a congratulation to all of them, because that's a level of dedication to the process that they're doing. They may not be qualified, but they're devoted to what they're doing, which makes a huge difference. So, the important thing is that people around you should be inspired. They must see that they're doing something significant in their life. If you… I don't ever pay them, but even if you don't pay 1 month's salary, they won't mind if they're doing something really important. Right now, they're just doing a job, thank God it's Friday, they're in that mode, all right? So, that inspiration has not happened in most businesses, unfortunately. I'm not saying everywhere, there are people who have managed to inspire, but that needs to happen because what is the point living with people who are dragging their feet? I can't live with them.
Yeah.
You don't want to do it, don't do it. But when you take something up, you must be agile, you must be there, all right? You must see it's important. Because if it's not important, why the hell are you doing it? No, because I'll get money, I'm doing it. That's a bad way to live, because this is a brief life, as I told you. We are dead for a very long time. We are only alive for a little bit of time. We must be doing what we love to do, what really matters. Hello? And when I say what I love to do, should I do music, should I do dance, should I do this, should I do that, it's not about that. See, if you really look at yourself as a human being, what impacts people most? With what kind of activity can you really touch another life? That's what you wish to do, whatever it is. You can touch people with business, you can touch people with industry, you can touch people with politics, with spirituality, with art, music, in every way you can touch. Only thing is, what is your consciousness? Are you doing this to make yourself great, or are you doing this because you genuinely want to touch another life? So once you touch another life, why do you call a handful of people your family and the rest are out? Because somewhere you touch their lives. And you're only able to touch 1 or 2 lives in your entire life, it's a constipated life. You must be able to touch a lot of people. Hello? Yes or no? You must be able to profoundly impact lots of people, then everybody feels like family to you. So if everybody is feeling like family with you, or family means not in the usual structure, I'm saying they're really, looking up to you because they know what you're doing is significant and it's significant for them, they'll do their best and of course you'll pay their salaries. And if everybody is agile and doing their best, that's the best you can get out of anybody, isn't it?
Guruji, you had mentioned that leadership means partnership, cooperation, mentoring and support and not dominance, which is lovely. I guess, how do we as leaders keep our ego in check?
Where is your ego? Show me, I'll fix it right now. Where is it?
Somewhere within my system, I guess.
Where? Tell me, is it in your foot?
No, I think my upper body somewhere. I can only make guesses.
Your dentures?
Dentures?
Dentures, I'm asking.
Real teeth.
Yeah, is it in… No, I meant…
Oh.
It's called denture, I didn't mean to say artificial dentures. See, you're Generation Z, you use language in a certain way.
No, Guruji, I'm not Gen Z. I'm a millennial, I think.
You're Y.
I'm Y.
So Y is a good
XY,
generation.
somewhere in the middle.
No, Y is a good generation. Whatever you see, you ask why. That's a good generation.
This is very true. We do question a lot, I think. And I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing.
Question is never a problem. As I told you before we came here, people are always saying, Sadhguru, can I ask any question? Because I don't want to ask a wrong question. I say, how can a question be wrong? Only an answer can be wrong. That's my problem. I may say something wrong. When you're asking a question, how can you ask a wrong question? Is there such a thing? That is only in the, high school examination, they asked you a wrong question. Have I answered that question? No.
No, you have. I was just taken in with your sense of humor.
So, see, leadership means people think it's power. No, leadership is a sacrifice. Leadership is a larger embrace of life. When you sit here and think, your thought is not about, like this young man was saying, I want to make $1 billion. This is personal ambition. If you're a leader, you're thinking how you can make a difference for all these people, all right? Whoever is in your perspective. So leadership means, in some way, you sacrifice so many things. Other people eat on time, leaders don't eat on time. Others sleep on time, we never sleep on time. We don't know when food and sleep will come to us. We don't know where we will sleep. If I sleep on the same pillow 2 nights, it's a luxury, all right? Well, people may think this is fantastic. Yes, it is, if you feel it that way. But if you think you're doing somebody else's work, it can become terribly burdensome. Hello? It can become a killing process. But if you see you're doing something significant and this is what you wish to do, then what you do, leadership is not a… Leader, see, first of all, anybody calling themselves a leader is… I think it's quite ugly. You never say, I want to be a leader. People should say, by what you're doing, oh, she's a leader. I am a leader, I am a leader. This is a very gross thing to do. Hello? Other people should feel this is a leader. Why would somebody see you as a leader? See, if you sit here, right now we are sitting on the stage, compared to people who are sitting in the audience, we have a little better view of everything. This is what leadership means. They put you on a perch. Once they put you on a perch, if you don't see better than others, you will make an utter fool of yourself. It's very important.
Absolutely.
So, you sit on a perch means you must see better. Maybe all of them are working harder than you, but you see better. Because you see better, they'll put you up there. It's like if you… in a small world like a ship on a vessel, the captain does nothing, he just dresses himself nicely. Usually ship captains are like that. Everybody is working their lives out, but they're all looking up to him because he sees what others cannot see. Hello? That's an important thing. So once you're a leader, you must have an insight that you are able to see something that others cannot see. It's just this. Successful leader means just that. What they see tomorrow, you see today, that's all.
Thank you, Guruji. That was really very insightful. That really helped. Thank you so much.
And you must be able to inspire people. Because if you don't have an inspired lot around you, for whatever reason, whether you throw money around and inspire them or you inspire them with your own activity, how you inspire them, it doesn't matter. They must be inspired. Otherwise, you're not getting the best out of people, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, that was good. Sadhguruji, talking about digitization, it's a big part of our businesses, and specifically talking about AI and AGI. People in the business world, I think a week ago came together to say that it needs to be monitored more carefully because it can be very dangerous.
They want a pause.
Absolutely.
They're asking for a pause. No, it won't pause.
What are your thoughts around AI? Should we, as business people, artists, human beings rather, should we be embracing it? Because of course it does make things more convenient, or is it something that should be not encouraged at all?
See, in 2017 and 2018, I was invited for a lot of artificial intelligence conferences. I said, why me, I'm not an artificial intelligence, why… I'm not a technical person, why are you calling me for these artificial intelligence conferences? So all these professors and academics who are there in these kind of places, they're saying, we are all really worried that we will lose our jobs. I said, I'm so glad academics lose their jobs, means it's a joy, all right? Then they said, when we look at you, probably if everything becomes AI, you're the only guy who will be relevant, so we want you to tell us what is it. I said, see, this you must have foreseen beforehand, you did not foresee. I foresaw this long time ago. Anything that you can accumulate data-wise in your mind, you can accumulate certain data, process, analyze and throw it out. This a machine can do better than you. Anything I want to lift this with my hand, maybe I'm very strong, I can lift you with the furniture, but a machine can do it better than me, yes or no? I remember in 70s, nobody old enough to be, in 70s, sir? No.
A little less.
So generation W, is it? Whatever, in 70s, there was news all over saying that in Mazagon docks, the coolies have all gone on strike. Why means, they were setting up the first gantry in Mazagon docks. Till then, those days the largest ships were approximately 125,000 tons. To unload a 125,000 ton ship, they were taking 24 to 28 days, one ship. Today, a 250,000 ton ships are unloaded within 24 hours because of machines. So those days they all went on strike. If this gantry comes, what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do with our muscle? I told them, see, this is what the coolies were doing, this is what the academics are talking right now. If AI comes, what are we supposed to do? All the coolies, what are they doing now? You must ask them and you must do that. All right? I'm saying, every time a convenience comes, somebody is going to lose his job because he was doing that job, all right? So with AI comes, essentially, I would like to move towards a world where nobody has to do any work for their living. Living is taken care of because machines do everything. What you want to do, only that you do. Fantastic world or no? Hello? Right now we have everybody working, especially in the West if you go, people ask me, what do you do for a living? I said, I breathe. Hello? For a living, what are you doing? Right now, their idea is because you have put your life on lease, doing something just to earn a living. It's a terrible way to live, that you work 365 days, all your life, just to earn a living. This is not what a human being is designed for, okay? Because once you come as a human being, your ability to be, you must understand this you must settle. You're the only one on this planet, you're the only species rather, whatever generation, alphabet you are, you're called a human being. Did you call a tiger being? An ant being, an elephant being? No. They're all creatures. You are a being. What this means is, you are the only one who are capable of determining how to be. If you knew how to be, what is the problem? Hello? If you knew how to be blissful or miserable, what's the choice?
Blissful.
Blissful.
We decided.
So if you knew how to be, what is the problem with life? Whatever you can do, you will do your best and when it's your time, you go. Hello? Yes or no? Only because you don't know how to be, you are making a signs of all your misunderstanding of life.
So on one hand, this is going to the human beings. On one end, we are just specks in this big… I don't even know how many universes there are. On the other end, there are, we are omnipresent, we're energy, we're everywhere. How do we not take ourselves too seriously, yet take ourselves seriously enough to know that we want to make an impact? And the same, I'm gonna just put another question in, because I'm selfish, I'm being greedy. How do we remain attached enough to enjoy what life has, yet detached enough so that we can live without materialistic things around us.
It's a very Indian problem. Attachment, detachment. So, how to be involved and not entangled, that's a question.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
See, people are saying, because they are reading Bhagavad Gita with half a brain. No, because they all say, only my left works, my right works, whatever, you know. People these days it's fashionable to say, my left brain says this, my right brain says this, so half a brain is working. With that they read Gita and they come to their own conclusions, that Krishna said, you should not be attached. You forget about what he said or he might not have said. Look at his life. Is he an embodiment of involvement or is he detachment? Involvement, isn't it? Absolute involvement in small things, big things, everything, he's absolutely involved. You're accusing that man of teaching you detachment. This is because you're looking at everything with your half a brain. They're openly admitting, people are admitting, my left brain says this, my right brain says that. So half a brain shouldn't make such conclusions about everything. With a full brain, you still can't make conclusions because the nature of creation is so complex. If you spend 1,000,000 years here, you still won't figure out one thing from the other. Right now you were talking about you being tiny and significant at the same time. See, where this cosmos begins, where it ends, neither the religious people know, nor the men of science know. Yes or no? Nobody has figured it out. So in this seemingly endless cosmos, beginningless, endless cosmos, here we are sitting on a tiny little mud ball that we call as planet Earth. And the damn thing is spinning and traveling at a tremendous speed, and we are sitting here nicely and talking all this. This is definitely not our making, isn't it? Hello? Not our making. And we have no clue in this cosmos where exactly… Do you have a geodrop? You know, the Google drop you have, where you are in this cosmos? No. You have no clue whether you are at the end of the cosmos, beginning of the cosmos, being crushed by something or thrown away somewhere, you don't know anything. And we are fine, hello? We're quite fine, isn't it? So this is the nature of our existence. Countless number of people before you and me, you know, you are Z, but ABC, all those people, they've all come and gone. When they lived, they also thought they are great men. They also thought they're very smart. They also thought they're very significant. Where are they right now? All topsoil. Not you, me also.
No,
This
me-
also will be topsoil.
Me too, me too.
Much later, 100 years later, but this also will become topsoil in a little while. Now, when we are sitting here, we're just a small pop-up on this planet. We'll pop out. We think this is my life and I'm so important. As far as the earth is concerned, it's just recycling its soil. Hello? Yes or no? So when you look at all this, how can I go to my office tomorrow? What is the use? See, this is because you're always trying to draw a conclusion with every realization. Don't draw a conclusion. The moment you draw a conclusion, that'll be your last realization.
Wow.
So, life is a progression of realizations. As you realize more and more and more, life becomes more and more beautiful and magnificent. But every time you realize something, you want to take notes and say, this is it. This is not it. If you live, this is not it. If you die, this is not it. This is the nature of life.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you so much.